Football season is very quickly approaching, so I wanted to do a fun football themed nail design perfect for all the football lovers out there. This design was actually done using acrylic paint, and so I'm just going to be taking a brown acrylic paint and a detail brush, creating two guide dots, and then I'm going to be creating kind of like an almond shape to be the football. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill this in and just touch up the edges. And then while that was drying, I went ahead to what would be the ring finger, and I just did two guide dots on random parts of the nail, creating more of the almond shape to create tiny little footballs all over the nail. I was actually really impressed with this design because I have a hard time freehanding, and I'm learning and I'm working more and more on how to do it, but sometimes when you do a nail design in your head, it looks a specific way, but sometimes it doesn't come out the exact way that you pictured it, which can be very frustrating. And this was one of the designs that did come out exactly how I pictured it in my head, and I was so happy with that. If you prefer to paint with nail polish, feel free to do so. I just have been trying to use acrylic paint when it comes to practicing my freehanding ability because it's more forgiving, meaning that if you make a mistake, you can rinse it off and you can start over instead of having to take off the nail polish from that nail and then repaint the base coat, repaint the color coat, and let that dry. And for me, that's just a little bit easier. While that was drying, I went ahead and did just a basic football nail. Again, created two guide dots, and then I just did a big line of white in the middle and then did what looks like stitching to just be one big football nail. I added a little bit more of that line just to complete the look. And so for the two green nails, I did one white line down the middle, and then I just drew random numbers. And the random numbers that I chose were the easiest for me to freehand, but feel free to pick any numbers that you wanted. I just chose to do 40 again because it was easier for me to freehand. Going back to the football nail, this was not 100% dry as you could see, which I kind of just decided just to keep pushing forward with this, which was my mistake. You definitely should let acrylic paint dry until it's matte and then continue. But I was just a little too eager to get the nail design complete because I was really happy with the way it was turning out. And then I'm just going to add a 30, and again, I chose numbers that were really easy for me to draw, but feel free to add in whatever numbers you want. So now I'm going to add the tiny little detailing onto the footballs. Now, one little design idea that I thought I would add is you can pick and choose any of the nail designs that you want to do and put them on whatever fingers you want to put them on. But if you want to make this design a little bit more personal and you want to do your team colors that you love, you could totally do that as a background, or you could totally do on a green nail, you could do the number of your favorite football player, just to make it a little bit more personal. But I just chose to do this because I thought it looked really cool, and I loved the way that this turned out. Drawing a football is surprisingly very easy. I don't know why, but I thought this was going to be more difficult in my head, but it actually turned out to be a lot easier than I thought it would. Lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and top coat everything, and you'll notice that I did accidentally smudge the top coat on one of the nails here, and that was because, again, I did not realize that that wasn't fully dry. That was my mistake, but everything can be fixed once it's dry, which I did do that off camera. I'm just going to continue to go ahead and top coat the rest of the nails. And one little tip I do have, if you are interested in doing this with a matte top coat, is do the shiny top coat first, allow it to dry, and then do the matte top coat afterwards, because allowing the shiny to dry underneath the matte will give it a much more velvety and smooth effect. And that is pretty much it for this video. I will have everything linked in the description box below, including the fake nails that I used, polishes, top coat, everything, as well as the acrylic paint. And that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it.